Ever felt like you're dancing to the tune of someone's approval, only to realize the music stopped long ago? We often find ourselves masked in smiles and nods, thinking we're in sync with those around us, only to discover that our rhythm is way off. It's a tough realization, and it can leave you questioning the authenticity of those smiles and the true intent behind those nods. Today we're going to dive into the subtle art of reading between the lines, decoding the hidden signs that someone might not really like you, despite what their outward gestures suggest. And through the lens of Stoicism, we'll explore how understanding these signs isn't just about saving face, but about cultivating a life of genuine relationships and inner tranquility. So, buckle up, because we're about to strip away the facade and get to the heart of true intentions. This isn't just about learning to spot a faux friend. It's about empowering yourself to attract and nurture relationships that align with your deepest values and virtues. If you appreciate what we're doing here, a simple free favor I'll ask from you is to hit that subscribe button. Also, please share this video with someone who could benefit from these insights. Let's spread the wisdom of genuine relationships and stoic tranquility together. Let's get started. Sign 1. Constant criticism disguised as jokes. It starts subtly, doesn't it? A little nudge here, a tiny jab there, all cloaked under the banner of humor. You might hear things like, "Oh, I'm just teasing," or "Can't you take a joke?" It seems harmless, friendly even, but there's often a deeper layer simmering beneath these chuckles. Here's where Stoicism sheds some light. Stoics believe in looking at life directly, valuing honesty and clarity. When someone constantly points out your flaws, even in jest, it might be their way of expressing hidden irritations or judgments. They mask their true feelings under the guise of humor, making it challenging for you to confront them without seeming overly sensitive. But remember, the Stoic principle of perceiving things objectively can empower us. It allows us to see the situation for what it is, a form of veiled disrespect, not just harmless banter. But why focus on the negative, you might wonder? Because if we continuously ignore these subtle digs, we may find ourselves accepting a lower self-image. Each joke chips away a little more at how we see ourselves and how much respect we command in these relationships. By recognizing this pattern, we prepare ourselves not just to brush off the discomfort it brings, but to address it directly. What's crucial here is not just identifying the pattern, but understanding why it matters. In Stoicism, we strive for inner peace and resilience, qualities that are hard to maintain if we're constantly on the defensive. Addressing these jokes not only preserves our self-esteem, but also sets boundaries that define how we expect to be treated. So, next time you find yourself the butt of a joke, take a moment. Reflect on whether this pattern respects your dignity or diminishes it. If it's the latter, it might be time to have a candid conversation about respect, boundaries, and genuine friendship. This isn't about losing your sense of humor. It's about ensuring that respect and kindness are no laughing matter in your relationships. Sign 2. Backhanded compliments. These are the kind of compliments that, at first blush, seem kind or flattering, but, upon a closer look, carry a sting. They're compliments with a twist, like, "Wow, you actually pulled that off," or "I didn't expect you to manage it, good for you." It sounds like praise, but it feels off, doesn't it? That's because there's an implicit criticism hidden beneath what is outwardly a compliment. Now, let's apply some Stoic wisdom here. Stoicism teaches us the importance of sincerity and clarity in our interactions. When someone offers a backhanded compliment, they are often revealing more about their own insecurities and judgments than they are about your capabilities or achievements. They might say, "You're smarter than you look," which on one hand acknowledges your intelligence, but on the other hand, suggests something less flattering about how you present. Why is it crucial to recognize and address these disguised slights? Stoicism encourages us to foster relationships based on genuine respect and mutual growth, not competitive undercutting or subtle put-downs. Each time we accept a backhanded compliment without question, we might inadvertently endorse the other person's skewed perception of us. More importantly, we allow our own understanding of self-worth to be influenced by someone else's unkindness. The right response isn't necessarily confrontation, which might seem too direct for many. Instead, reflect on why the comment was made. You can even politely challenge the person by asking them to clarify what they meant. This not only addresses the issue, but also encourages a more honest dialogue. For instance, responding with, "Thanks, what makes you say that?" can gently prompt the person to reconsider the impact of their words. In practicing this level of discernment, we uphold the Stoic ideal of living with virtue and integrity, ensuring our interactions are both respectful and reflective of our true values. Remember, it's not just about rejecting negativity, but about nurturing a positive, truthful, and supportive environment around us. This is how we turn potentially undermining situations into opportunities for personal growth and clearer communication. Sign 3. Social exclusion. It's that sinking feeling when you realize you weren't invited to the dinner party everyone's chatting about, or when group plans seem to consistently forget your inclusion. This isn't just about missing out on fun, it's about feeling sidelined, an afterthought in your social circles. It can often come across as a joke with remarks like, "Oh, we thought you were too busy to come," or "We must have forgotten to hit send on your invite." While it might be presented with a laugh, the underlying message can leave you feeling less than amused. In the context of Stoicism, we're reminded that our response to external events is more important than the events themselves. Social exclusion, deliberate or not, provides a crucial opportunity for introspection and response. Stoics would advise us to reflect on our perception of these situations. Are we truly being excluded, or are we interpreting unintentional oversights as personal slights? And if the exclusion is intentional, it offers a moment to reassess the value and health of these relationships. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control, our own thoughts and actions, rather than trying to control the actions of others. It's important, then, to approach these situations with a clear head and an open heart. Ask directly and kindly about the event, expressing your feelings without accusation. For instance, saying something like, "I noticed I wasn't included in the gathering last week. I felt a bit left out. Can we talk about what happened?" This type of dialogue can illuminate whether the oversight was innocent or if it reflects a deeper issue within the group dynamics. Addressing social exclusion head-on not only helps clarify your social standing, but also reinforces your self-respect and boundaries. It ensures that your relationships are built on transparency and respect, aligning well with Stoic principles. Remember, it's not about forcing inclusion, but ensuring that your social interactions are genuine and reciprocal. In the long run, fostering connections that naturally include and value your presence is key to maintaining both social harmony and personal peace. Sign 4. Unavailability. Ever noticed how some friends are perpetually busy when you want to hang out, yet somehow they always seem to have time for others? They might chuckle and say, "Sorry, I'm swamped," as usual, making light of their constant unavailability. This often leaves a mixed message. Is their busy schedule a genuine constraint or a convenient excuse? This kind of ambiguity can be confusing and even hurtful, especially if you value the relationship. From a Stoic perspective, We're reminded to focus on our internal reactions rather than external actions. It's crucial not to take this personally or let it affect your peace of mind. Stoicism teaches us to accept things we cannot change, including other people's priorities. However, it also emphasizes the importance of self-respect and honest communication. If someone's perpetual busyness affects you, it's worth bringing up in conversation. A simple, straightforward approach can be more effective, like saying, "I've noticed it's been hard to find time together. Can we plan something that works with your schedule?" This can help clarify whether the issue is truly about time or about the value placed on your relationship. It's also important to maintain a sense of humor without compromising your needs. Making light of the situation with a joke like, "Hey, should I book a slot 2 months in advance?" can keep the tone friendly, but also convey your genuine desire to connect. It's a balancing act between respecting their time and asserting your place in their life. This sign, like the others, offers an opportunity for growth and understanding. It invites you to consider the quality and reciprocity of your relationships. Stoicism doesn't mean accepting poor treatment passively. Rather, it encourages us to engage with our circumstances thoughtfully and proactively, ensuring that our social connections are both meaningful and respectful. So use these moments of unavailability not just to question the dedication of others, but to affirm your own values and how you choose to spend your time and emotional energy. Sign 5. Physical distance. This sign is subtle, often overlooked, but when someone consistently avoids even the slightest physical contact, like a handshake or a casual pat on the back, it can signal discomfort or detachment. You might hear it joked about in comments like, "Oh, I'm just not a hugger," or "Better not get too close, I might catch something." While these remarks are often said in jest, they can mask a deeper reluctance to establish closeness or intimacy, leaving you feeling unexpectedly isolated or rejected in social settings. In terms of Stoicism, this scenario is a reminder to focus on what we can control, our perceptions and reactions. The philosophy teaches us not to impose our expectations on others, but to accept their comfort levels. However, it also encourages us to seek clarity and understanding in our interactions. If you notice someone maintaining a physical distance, it's appropriate to consider the context. Is their behavior consistent across all their relationships, or is it specific to their interaction with you? Addressing this directly might not always be comfortable, but it can be approached with a light touch to keep the conversation open and non-confrontational. For instance, you might say, "I've noticed you're not much for handshakes. Is that just your style? Or is there something I should be aware of?" This not only shows respect for their boundaries, but also expresses your interest in understanding and respecting their personal space. Physical distance doesn't have to create an emotional distance. By discussing these observations openly, you can bridge misunderstandings and foster a relationship that respects both parties' comfort levels. Stoicism helps us detach from feelings of rejection and instead encourages proactive communication and personal growth. Remember, every interaction is an opportunity to learn more about others and about ourselves, strengthening connections in ways that respect individual boundaries and preferences. Sign 6. Disappearing during tough times. It's one thing for friends to be around during your wins or happy moments. It's quite another for them to vanish when the going gets tough. You might hear excuses wrapped in humor like, "I'd love to help, but I always seem to make things worse, don't I?" Or, "Guess I picked a bad time to go on vacation, huh?" While these comments might be made in jest, they mask a stark reality. When you needed support the most, they were conspicuously absent. Stoicism teaches us to depend primarily on ourselves, cultivating an inner resilience that can withstand life's fluctuations. However, this philosophy also values community and support, recognizing that human beings are inherently social creatures. When friends make light of their absence in difficult times, it's an opportunity to reflect on the nature of these relationships. Are they fair-weather friends, present only when circumstances are easy and enjoyable? This sign encourages you to assess the depth and reliability of your connections. It's not about casting blame, but rather understanding who you can truly rely on. You can address this with those involved by expressing your feelings without accusation. For example, saying, "I noticed I haven't seen much of you when things were rough. It's been a tough time, and I could really use your support," invites an open dialogue and gives the other person a chance to explain or adjust their behavior. Furthermore, Stoicism doesn't advocate for passive acceptance of all situations. Instead, it encourages us to take thoughtful action based on our values. If you value loyalty and support, it's perfectly reasonable to seek out relationships that reflect these qualities. In doing so, you honor not only your own needs, but also the Stoic ideal of living in accordance with nature, which includes forming and maintaining meaningful relationships. Recognizing this sign isn't just about identifying who isn't there for you, it's also about appreciating those who are. It reinforces the importance of being selective with your inner circle, choosing to invest your time and energy in relationships that are not only enjoyable, but also deeply supportive. Sign 7. Gossip. When someone you trust speaks about you behind your back, it can feel like a deep betrayal. It might be brushed off with a joke or an offhand comment like, "I was just telling them about your little mishap. Hope you don't mind." Or, "We were just laughing about that crazy thing you did. No big deal, right?" But here's the thing. If it's about you, it is a big deal. Gossip, even when cloaked in humor, can damage reputations and erode trust. Stoicism, with its emphasis on virtue and integrity, teaches us to handle such situations with grace and perspective. The philosophy encourages us not to react impulsively to gossip, but to consider the intentions behind it and the truth of the matter. Stoics believe in focusing on what you can control, your actions and your responses. You cannot control what others say about you, but you can control how you let it affect you and how you choose to respond. If you find out you're the subject of gossip, it's important to address it directly with those involved. This doesn't have to be confrontational. A simple, straightforward conversation can clarify your stance and perhaps enlighten the gossiper about the impact of their words. You might say, "I heard that you shared something about me that wasn't intended to be public. Can we talk about what happened?" This approach shows that you value honesty and direct communication, principles that are deeply rooted in Stoic thought. Moreover, encountering gossip provides an opportunity for personal growth. It tests your resilience and offers a chance to practice forgiveness and understanding, key aspects of Stoic ethics. Remember, everyone makes mistakes, including those who might speak thoughtlessly. The goal isn't just to correct misinformation or halt gossip, but to foster a culture of transparency and respect in your relationships. In a broader sense, understanding why people gossip can also be enlightening. Often it stems from insecurity, jealousy, or a desire for social leverage. Recognizing these motives can help you empathize with the gossiper and address the root cause of the behavior rather than just the symptoms. This aligns with the Stoic practice of looking beneath the surface of actions to understand their ethical and emotional underpinnings. Dealing with gossip effectively is about more than protecting your reputation. It's about cultivating a life where sincerity and integrity are at the forefront, reflecting the true spirit of Stoicism. Thanks for joining me today on this journey through the subtleties of human interactions. Remember, Understanding these signs isn't just about navigating social waters more effectively, it's about enriching our lives with more authentic and respectful relationships. If you found this discussion enlightening, check out one of the suggested videos on your screen to dive even deeper into the world of Stoic wisdom. Thank you for being a part of the Stoic Journal community, where we seek not just knowledge, but the wisdom to live well. Until next time, take care and live true.